So, I'm Sasha Riddle. I'm here with Mr. Herman, Butch, Slaughter, and I've got some questions for you, man. I've got a lot to ask you, but I'm gonna keep it quick and short for.
Fire away, kid.
So, the first thing that I would have to ask you really is a continuation of what I asked Mariah Ivy on Tuesday, which was on the way to class that day. I was listening to Voodoo by D'Angelo, and D'Angelo had said he was upset at what R&B had become. He said they'd taken black music and turned it into a club thing, a pop thing. And he said they've taken how the music is created, stripped it down, and essentially stripped away the soul from what it was. And in making Voodoo, which was a 4-year process, he had said that he wanted to change the way how his albums were recorded, wanted to go back to that analog sort of sound, the 8-track recordings and this and that, wanting to go back to what he had heard from Prince and what he had heard in gospel growing up. And what I had asked Mariah Ivy was, so with that neo-soul movement and everything that the Soulquarians did, from Jay Dilla, Erykah Badu, D'Angelo, Mos Def, Common, and how they were recording music at the time, Questlove as well from The Roots, how they were recording music at the time and how they made it to be consumed and what music consumption is now. Do you think that sort of movement could be revived in this day and age in the streaming era?
Yeah, because of kids like you. I'm saying, not kids, men. Because of young men and women like yourself. Like I said, you got to study. We study, but in a different way.
Right.
Yeah. We did it in the, on the job training.
Right.
But yeah. Did I
Yeah.
answer? Okay.
A very simple answer. And I'm glad that you feel that we can revive that sort of thing, because the way music is consumed now, it's so quick, and the songs are created to be much shorter, putting the hook first and everything else. But you mentioned funk, and I always noticed, like, in the 70s specifically, and in the 80s, there were some longer musical intros in the way that the song was composed, and then maybe like a chorus or a verse beforehand, but songs really took their time to build up. Now, you get everything out of the gate.
Right.
And I'm just like, it takes away, so it's like, sometimes I wonder, I'm like, in a digital world like this, I'm like, can funk have that space to exist the way it should? But then you brought up, after class that day, Silk Sonic, and you had mentioned what Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak had done. And do you think more acts could exist the way they do without feeling like replicas of the past?
Yeah. I guess I can I mention a group?
Yes.
I was at one of my favorite spots last Monday. Tony Bingham, he works with Rodney Stepp.
Okay.
And Downstroke. He's one of the singers in Downstroke. And he has a history. And he told me, he said, man, check out this group called Slapback Band. Have y'all heard of it?
No.